It's 10. Okay, good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. Let's call the meeting to order for Polk County Commissioners Court on July 17th, 2025 at the Polk County Regional Health Building, Suite A. At this time, I would like for everyone to make sure that they have turned off all forms of communication, cell phones or other devices. And we're going to go straight into the public comments. And we have Mr. Pat Casey from Lakefront Drive. Mr. Casey?
Thank you. Yeah, just, this is, I guess, in support of budget item 4.
Okay.
A long time ago, Bobby Smith, who helped our community with roads, and he said it was far more cost effective to adequately maintain a road than to repair it, or, if God help us, have to reconstruct it. So what I'm asking for is an adequate level of funding to roads and bridges throughout the county, so that the maintenance of the roads can be done in the most cost-effective manner with large overlays instead of constant repairs. I'd also like to commend the court for supporting the acquisition of the equipment to apply chip and seal to roads. That's going to dramatically lower the cost of maintenance. It was a great move, and I hope others get to do that within the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, very well. Do we have any informational reports? Not at this time. Okay. We'll go into our workshop. So we're going to receive presentations from the Voice over Internet protocol providers and consider any and all necessary action related to the VoIP services. Those of you that are here making presentations, please understand that it doesn't mean that the court is going to immediately select someone today. It just means that they're going to ask you some questions, listen to your services, and then the court can decide how they wish to proceed from there. Okay, well, I'm just going to go by the order of the questions were handed to me. So, Vested Networks. Anyone on the court is free to ask questions. If there's a question of interest, then please let us know.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Debbie, and I am with Vested Networks. And I know you're looking at several companies today, but I want to tell you one thing that's different about Vested Networks. Just one thing. We have down-home customer service. That means if you need us, if you choose us, and you need us for any reason, you dial HELP, help, from our phones. It goes directly to our tech desk. Those tech guys answer it within 16 seconds, and they speak English. So that's the one thing I want you to remember about us. And before I introduce Evan Huff, he is our owner and CEO of Vested Networks, and he'll be the one answering your questions and doing the presentation. But, so you don't forget that we have down-home customer service. May I approach?
Oh, yes.
I made you all some down-home homemade bread, made down home at my house last night. So you do not
will get you
forget.
everywhere.
Oh, no, this is not bribery. It's just so you remember that we have down-home customer service. We really do. We really do have down-home customer service. But you can call HELP and get through to our tech desk, okay? And that way you don't forget that, okay? All right.
Thank you.
And I'm going to turn it over to Evan.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for your time and for having us out here to be able to kind of answer any of those questions. Evan Huff, again, with Vested Networks, I started this off the idea to just take care of the customer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, if we're not providing the service and support, right, because things happen, right? People come in and go out, right? There's changes that need to be made to call routing. Different things happen all the time. And if we're not here and actually proactively following up with you, then you should be looking for somebody else, right? And that's what we're here for, right? We serve over 150 municipalities, counties, CADs, cities, ISDs, all across the state of Texas. We've really found a niche in that. And then, on the sheriff's side, as well, man, the sheriff's departments love us because we work so well together with all of their different integrations, and whether it's Eventide or another one of the recording services. We also keep the recordings as well. compliant, across the board. We wanna make sure that we take care of every aspect of that. And the other thing too is, I know, one of the kind of issues that you guys have been having is like outages, but also like just the kind of the massive amount of like, different carriers that you guys have to, and different, like, if there's an issue over here, who do we call? Because this issue is different than this one's, who do we call for? You guys, all that will actually be simplified under us, is we'll actually take all those voice services and we unify that under us. You have one place to call, one throat to choke, right? Is we're here, we'll answer any of those questions, and even as something as simple as making sure that you can press the button on your phone to check your voicemail and not have to enter a password if you don't want to, we can do that, right? Or not even have to check it on the phone, it just comes straight to your email, transcribed, with an audio file. We can do any of these kind of functions and features that you guys want and need. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can happen, and any adjustments that you guys need. These are all part of what we do, right? Like, we're onboarding a financial firm right now, and they were like, hey, we just switched from like RingCentral, we switched over to Dialpad. We were having a whole bunch of issues because they're a compliancy, right? They can't have people see call recordings. And they also don't want people to use the mobile app because of compliancy reasons. And they don't want that. And they said, but they can't shut it off. Like, we only want like 2 people to access call recordings, but we still want all the calls to be recorded. So we can do that. Like, we can just turn it off per user. Or we can, isolate things down. We can customize the entire menu for you. And they're like, you can do that? And I said, yeah. So that's what we're here to do, right? I'm here to answer any questions you guys have as well. But make no mistake, you're talking to the owner and CEO. I didn't start this to give excuses, and y'all also have all my information there as well. I'm the only CEO that I know in telecom that you can directly access. So yeah, that's what we're here to do. Just take care of you guys, make sure that systems stay up and running. By the way, we have 100% uptime, 100%, not 5 nines. So we're here and ready and making sure that we're taking care of you guys.
Okay.
So, do y'all have any questions for me?
What other counties use your service?
We have almost 30 counties now. Orange is one, Jasper is one, Limestone, Fannin, Lamar, and these just Willis or Coriel, Bandera. I mean, I just keep going, and there's several, right? And then even more CADs. We're actually almost up to 100 CADs now, specifically. So, yeah, our names get out. Our Carnes, gosh, Jim Hogg. Yeah, we just keep going. So,
Thank you.
Sure.
That gives us some to verify or check with.
oh, absolutely.
Anybody else have a question?
We gonna go through all these?
You can if you want to.
How much is this gonna cost?
Oh, all the details and the costs are actually laid out there. I don't have the exact number in front of me. Yeah, it's on the proposal, and I believe it actually lowers the cost as well for you guys, but again, I don't have that number. Yeah, and there's also, she mentioned that there's no cost up front as well, right? Yeah, like the whole onboarding. This is something that we do a little bit different than pretty much anyone else that I've been able to run across, is that we don't start the agreement until everything is done, and then y'all sign off on it, right? So it puts the onus on us to make sure that everything is done. There's no downtime. When we do the transition, there's 0 downtime. I don't like missing calls, because again, that's somebody's life on the other end of that call. We go to great lengths to make sure that doesn't happen. So, no downtime during installation, no upfront costs. So we just roll everything into the service agreement. You guys own the equipment at the end of the agreement as well. So if you all choose to go to somebody else, perfect. That allows it an easy exit. Again, we want to flip the tide, like put the onus on us to make sure we do a great job during onboarding.
So are we gonna have to buy any extra equipment other than what's in the agreement?
And all that stuff's just included, like.
In the proposal?
Right,
Okay.
yep.
So the proposal is it?
Yep. Yeah, we try to keep it simple, one-page proposal. Yeah.
Commissioner Dugas, do you have any questions? So, so I do have a quick question about training and support. So what kind of training is included or would be available, whatever I should say, for the staff and the administrators and elected officials so that we all kind of know what we're doing?
Full and unlimited. So we will be here, actually, as we install, we actually go around and train as we're doing it. And then once we actually do, like we're installing, say, one department or one building or whatever it is, as we're going through, we're doing call forwarding, or if we can't do call forwarding, which is odd nowadays, but if you can't, then we'll actually come back and time the training and the go live at the same time. So that way, as soon as we're there and we're doing the installation and everything is happening, we're there to train and make sure that everything's ready to go. We're testing everything all the way through. And then also any follow-up training, because no one's gonna remember everything that day. If you guys, at any time, want additional training on any of the topics or features, whatever it is, just call us. Like, email us, whatever it is, we'll set up additional training. Either we can even do on-site, virtual, over the phone, we'll just walk you through something. You actually have an online portal that you can log into to be able to see everything and control it yourself too. So we can give you as much or as little, control as you want, right? Enable you guys to handle it yourselves, or just call us for everything.
How complicated is this telephone if you gotta train people to use it?
So
That's what I'm wondering.
phones can be pretty complicated, and so that's why.
I want a simple one in my home.
Absolutely, and we simplify it for the needs of who you are, right? We have a default template that we just apply to all the phones. Everything from the mobile app that you have on your phone, or like on your mobile phone, to the desktop, whatever it is, we can customize it to you. So if you want the extra features, great, we can enable those and they're just part of the solution. There's no additional charge. But we can customize it for you. If you don't want all the features, great, we can remove the features for you. That way you don't have to mess with them. So we try to tailor it to your needs, not force it, so it makes it really nice.
Where's your backup system located? Your main
Sure.
office, where's that?
So our main office is actually in the Louisville area, so south of Denton. But our data centers are actually, we have two primary, one in the Richardson area and then one in Denver. And then we have some tertiary facilities as well, one in Las Vegas, Kansas City, Atlanta, and then in New Jersey. So we don't like outages. I don't like carrier issues. We actually now, and that gets to another point, is we are now actually a full-fledged FCC authorized VoIP carrier. So we actually own the numbers, we own the routes, and we can port any numbers that other carriers cannot. So we have over 100 numbers now on our on that deal. It actually is fairly recent. We've been going through this for about the last 3 years. So it's very, very exciting, and it's been a long journey to get to the point where we can handle things, not have to go through third parties and stuff like that. So I don't like issues, and when issues arise and that I can't solve immediately, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna figure out how to fix this one so I don't have to mess with it again.
Okay, so some of the issues that, especially in some of the outlying offices,
Sure.
and especially with the sheriff's office also, is that how is it gonna integrate with our current call system? How are we gonna make sure that he can retrieve his voicemails, or at least transfer a phone call to his secretary who's sitting that far from him?
Sure.
Right, not just hollering across the room or
Sure.
into the back office. And so I guess part of it is the call recording system,
Right.
which really is, especially with the sheriff's office.
Well, there's a couple different things, right? So there's, you mentioned not only call routing, so like, if he gets a call and he needs to transfer it to a secretary or whatever it is, that's just part of training, but it's also, we can create different shortcut keys on his phone that you use often. And so as we go around and install, we're actually asking, okay, how do you want everything set up? How do you want, at least right now, right? How do you want it set up today? Because you can just simply call us in a week and go, hey, that's not working, let me just change it, or, call us tomorrow and change it. I mean, any of this stuff is modifiable anytime, and you can even modify it yourself if you wanted to. So we can do that. Call recording.
They don't wanna modify it themselves. I
If
think
you
that's
wanted
the
to, you
kicker.
can. I mean, again, we give you the ability to do it. A lot of people like to self-service. They like to do that themselves, or just call us. Again, it's a 1-minute phone call. Hey, I want to change this. Okay.
But I know like me, I just used to pick up the phone, dial the number, that's
That's
all
it.
I want.
Right, that's it.
Oh.
Right. Right, if the line's blinking, just hit it and grab the call. Right. Again, keep it simple. You don't have to do something crazy. Other people like some more complicated.
If we ended up going with this and you got all, everything set up and
Sure.
gone, and then we have problems, how long did it take to get somebody down here?
If it's rare, again, we service everywhere coast to coast, right? So I have an actual critical care hospital in California. Our offices are in Louisville, right? So that's a pretty good drive or flight, right? We haven't had to, we set it up in such a way that we don't have to 99.999% of the time, right? Most of the issues that are ever gonna happen are either local with the network, right? Interface with the IT guy, making sure that, hey, the phone's plugged in, network set up correctly, stuff like that. Or there's something like on the back end with our routing or something like that that we need to handle, right? It's very, very, very odd that we would actually have to dispatch specifically. If we did, same day. So either same day or tomorrow, we'd be out here. So again, we've even done we were having there was an issue with the client I'm talking about in California. And if the IT guy hadn't been able to step into it, we would have been flagged that afternoon. Because they can't have issues, like especially in critical care, 911, right? That's someone's life on the line, so we can't mess with it.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Does anyone have another question?
Well, the only thing I guess left was, didn't really touch on it, integrated with the sheriff's office on.
Yeah.
Recording stuff.
Yeah, and I touched on that just briefly, but like if you're talking about Eventide or another, like the call recording software solutions, those ones, especially at the sheriff's office, they can do one of two things, right? They can listen to the network, right, to be able to pull those call recordings off the SIP phones. They can also do it through analog lines, which will convert to SIP anyway. But the other thing is that on our system, we include 90 days of call recording retention as part of the solution. And then we can just, extend that out depending on what the needs are, right? If they want additional call recording retention, that's fine, we'll just extend it out, right? It's just part of what we do. But by default, it's just enabled for 90
So what
days.
if the JPs, or the constables wanted their lines recorded as well?
That's fine. It's just, again, call recording's included, right? So you just let us know. We don't enable it by default, just part of compliancy purposes, but as soon as you want it enabled, let us know, we'll turn it on.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Verge Network Solutions. Basically, we allotted 10 minutes for your presentation, 5 for questions, but you cannot have all 15 minutes, however you see fit.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. I'm Art Ashcroft, Vice President and co-founder of Verge Network Solutions. We're about a 25-year-old company. Our principal offices were started in Oklahoma City. Our new ownership resides in the Houston area, so we've been opened an office in Houston about 2 years ago. Just moved into new facilities in Houston, just off Highway 59, and have been expanding our organization with additional staff. This is one of our sales engineers. Works with me as well. I'm a sales engineer by trade. And Ruben Pina has been with us for about 6 months now. We're happy to have him. So I've given you some slides. talk a little bit about who we are and what we do, and I'll let Ruben talk a little bit about our solution. Verge is, like I said, been around 25 years. We serve companies all up and down the plains. We own and operate the systems that we are offering. They're based in Oklahoma City and Tulsa Tier Point data centers, fully geo-redundant and 200% capacity. So we don't use Amazon or AWS. We actually buy and pay for those servers and infrastructure and then lease the service space and environmental facilities for those. Proud of that solution. We've been operating it for about 8 years now. We handle about 1 million calls a month through that, about 25,000 telephone numbers through that system today. Organizations from, a handful of phones to hundreds of phones. Number of our customers have 20, 30 locations scattered out throughout multiple states. So we've been very active there. We'll let Ruben talk a little bit about our solution for your organization.
Thank you. So we've been working on this project for some time and answering the RFP, and we did come out here several times, myself and one of the other account managers, and we met with Casey, we met with Nicole. We got a real good feel of the struggles that you're having and what you're looking for in a new phone system. And so we were able to come up with a recommendation that included replacing the desk phones you have now, adding some of the cordless phones for the locations that need it. We also looked very carefully at how the recording is being done at the Sheriff's County. We made sure that our system will integrate with that fully seamlessly. So there's not gonna be any difficulty in rolling out that installation. I personally called and spoke to that company directly, and they gave me the technical information so that we could implement it in our design. So we're gonna place our phones out there. They have a lot of technology, but they're gonna be very simple to use. You'll be able to pick it up, call someone, get your voicemail on there. You need a transfer, you need a conference. Very, very simple approach. Best part, of course, is we're just down the road, 59. It took us 80 minutes to get here this morning. So to answer your question earlier, how long would it take our technicians to get here? 80 minutes, sir. 80 minutes. And we have 6 technicians in our Houston office. And of course, we have a lot more in our Oklahoma office. So we have that ability for you. But when we were looking at the design, we looked at, like I said, at the cordless phones and everything, but we also paid a lot of attention to your analog devices. And so those analog devices that we're gonna be able to integrate into our phone system, that would be your faxes, of course, but also your alarm panels, your fire panels, and your elevator phones and everything. So we support up to 65 devices. And we came up with that number by looking very carefully at the list of devices that they gave us. And so that means that you will not have to make any additional purchases. So what you're seeing there has been very well thought out to prevent any cost down the road. And including one of the things that we did look at is, so these phones are power over Ethernet. That means when they connect to the data port, the power that's being provided by your network equipment is what turns on that phone. Now, not all of your equipment has that ability. So we put in 50 power supplies so that if there's a phone that needs to be connected and there's no power from that data port, then you can just connect a regular old, little charger to the phone and your phone will work. Again, with the design being no further additional cost down the road. And so everything has been designed that way. And so with us, when our technicians come out here and do the installation, they're gonna show up in a company branded Verge vehicle. They're gonna show up with their badges so you know exactly who they are, and we only use our employees. There's no third party. So all of them, anybody who's coming out here that's wearing a Verge shirt and has a badge, has had a background check, and they've been certified that they can come out here and work with, especially with the county. We know how important that is. So that's what you're gonna get with us. And again, the other thing we looked at too, and this is something that we always take into consideration, is we wanna take the load off of your technology department. So our installation, we do it without them. We work with them, but we put no extra work on their plate. It's our technicians doing it from beginning to end. And again, we're gonna be there for you 90 minutes down the road, but if you need anything, we're a phone call, an email away, and we'll be able to provide that support for you.
Okay, anyone wanna start with questions?
That's my same.
Your same question?
What other counties are using you in Texas?
So, that's a great question. Glad you asked it, and I'm not glad you asked it. We don't currently have any other county governments. We do have a couple of small city governments. We serve a number of large financial institutions with several hundred employees. Again, locations scattered out over several states, as well as several manufacturing organizations that have large footprints, including LSB Industries, which has locations in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Alabama, of all places.
Yeah.
So,
What are the cities that are, you mentioned that
Uh,
some cities that, what are they?
Yeah,
Who are they?
city of, actually, it's town of Sealing, Oklahoma. I have another one, I can't think who it is right now, and I'm sorry for that.
That's all right.
And we have a customer just down the road that they love us, San Jacinto County Bank. You know, we like to go there on Friday to get some of that vanilla ice cream that they make. But they're a wonderful reference. They tell us, you know, we told them we were gonna come up here and they said, hey, be sure to drop our
What's the
name.
name?
San Jacinto County Bank.
Okay, San Jacinto?
Yes, sorry about that.
That's all right.
We would encourage you to call any one of our references. I think we provided a good list, but we can provide an even more expansive list. And, you know, one of the things, we just recently, in fact, we're implementing right now a project for Coffeyville Public Schools. It's about 350 stations in Coffeyville, Kansas. And it came by way of an RFP, and when they investigated us, it turns out that they knew people at one of the large banks that we serve in southeast Kansas. And they're like, why wouldn't we do it? So we hope we provided a very competitive offer. Price is not everything, service is important. But I would just challenge you, check us out.
Thank you.
So, how's this gonna integrate, again, to my original question before about the sheriff's office? I believe Commissioner Dugos out of the JPs, you know, we've got multiple, it would have to be the district attorney's office, the jail, the SO, the JPs, county court at law. How is it gonna integrate? I guess my concern would be with law enforcement or 911 emergency services. How's it gonna integrate with what the sheriff's office currently has?
So it's not gonna disrupt the way it's operating now. We're just gonna add on to it. So you're not gonna have any downtime or it being affected. And with the call recording, without getting a little too technical,
Yeah.
the way it works is, like I said, the data port that we connect the phone to on your network equipment, they mirror that port. That means they shadow it, and so that's how they're able to do the recording. So when we're laying out the new phones in the sheriff's department, we're just gonna coordinate with the company providing the recording capability and program those ports so they can continue to monitor them. That's basically how it works. And so it's just mirroring that port, and so they're able to continue to do the recordings. And so that is a very, very simple process for us to do as far as programming the ports to be able to continue to do that.
And that recording system provides a searchable database of calls that they can go back and drill down on a time and date. You may have other places where you want call recording. We've included call recording with up to 30 days retention for all basic and standard users. So it can be activated on demand. We can include full-time recording for stations that require that. That wasn't a requirement in the RFP, but the recording in the sheriff's office certainly was, and we've met that requirement.
I think I'm correct in saying this, but when you all set up and everything, someone in your office could sit down and look at everything that's being discussed here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I know you said they all have background check. That include that person sitting there, that can, anybody that would have access to
Yes.
get into that?
Every
Because,
single person.
because of our activities in the financial industry, we use a background check service for every single employee we hire, regardless of their task.
And they can only get in from your office, or can they go home and get in and let the family member look?
They can only access our systems from our offices.
Okay, do you have anything you wanna add?
We'd love to have your
Couple of
business.
minutes or
We'll-
another question?
We'll take good care of you and, look forward to serving you.
The only thing I did want to add is, when he mentioned the geo redundancy, again, without being too technical, all that means is if we have a situation here where you have a power outage due to floods or you're affected by a hurricane, we will make sure that your phone system keeps running. And by that, we mean, let's say this building loses power and your phone is there, well, you could have a client on your cell phone, and we can make sure that the calls are being redirected there, and that takes seconds for us to set up. So, like the last year when y'all lost power, you would have been able to continue functioning had our phone system been here in place. So that's just something I wanted to mention. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for
Appreciate
your time.
it.
Thank you.
ESI Solutions?
It's not as good as the snacks, but, I'll make up for it. And then I brought a couple extra, you know, any extra you wanna keep on.
You can leave them there, for
Just
just
in
one of the
case.
elected officials wants to take a look at it.
Alrighty, well, good morning. Thank you again for allowing us to come out and give the presentation to explain what ESI can bring to the table for a new telephony solution for your entire county, right? That's a big undertaking and it's a big decision, so the decision you make is pretty important. So quick introduction, my name's Gage Heron. I'm the regional sales manager at ESI, which is actually located in Dallas, Texas. Now, this is Amy Doran, who works at Arcom Communications, which is located in Houston. They have various branches, but she's the managing partner who oversees operations and manages everything outside of the East Branch, which is again Houston, Conroe area, right? Now, a lot of people don't really know who ESI is, which again, we're nationwide, so just to kick it off, I want to tell you the backstory on who ESI is, so that you know who you're partnering with, right? So ESI was founded in 1987, so that's going into our 38th year, so very well established. We're headquartered in Plano, Texas, which if you know where that's at, it's about, I don't know, 20 minutes outside of Dallas, 15 minutes outside of DFW. Now, we're privately held, which is very important, and debt-free. So we've been completely debt-free since our inception. So 38 years, we're in the money. You don't have to worry about us going under. You're not partnering with a company that's a fly-by-night, or there's no concern of are they gonna be here in the future when we need them. Now I wanna highlight privately held. We don't answer to anyone in a polite way, right? We don't have to say, oh, the shareholders want this, oh, the people want this. Our owner, Eric Suter, which I think that's where he got ESI, Eric Suter Industries. He'll never tell us, but I'm pretty dang sure that's where he got it. Great guy, and just the way he runs business is different, and that's always been his motto. So ESI, he always makes the joke that ESI is the way he spells easy. We make it easy to communicate, so we make ESI easy to communicate. So anyways, just so you know. Now, the other great thing about ESI, 24/7, US-based tech support, nothing overseas. Everyone's in Plano, Texas, so we all speak Texan, right? We actually do have a good set of bilingual folks, so if you do need that, it's any auto attendant, it's not gonna be a problem. Now, here's where I believe we shine. So we have today 400 active ESI agents and partners, Arcom being one of them. So we have 400 other Arcoms nationwide. So we have a very good footprint. Now, across those 400 partners today, we have sold 400,000 phone systems. It's a lot of phone systems. Now, the phone systems range from one phone to 10,000 phones. We have small customers, we have very large national accounts. Give you an example, a recent ISD, Wichita ISD, 98 locations, 7,000 phones. And we just started that about 8 months ago, and I think we're like 2,000 phones in, we got a ways to go. But anyways, just to put into perspective, we can handle your type of size deal. Don't ever think that it's, too much of a, undertaking for us, but it's run of the mill, we do this frequently. Now, I wanna highlight some key things that I think separate ESI from other competitors and maybe some other folks you're gonna hear from. So we offer a lifetime warranty, period, no questions asked, okay? That means in the proposal that you guys received, whether you buy the phone or rent the phone, the way we propose it, I think you pay for it over time, and then once it's paid for, it falls off. But the luxury is you get that, you only have to pay for that phone one time. As soon as you own the phone, it's yours. So 6 months from now, if something happens, you spill coffee on it, just don't tell us you did it. But when you call and say, hey, we need a new phone, there's no questions. We overnight you the phone, or Arcom has it on standby. You typically have it within 48 hours or less. Now, the other cool thing about that is because we're going to a hosted phone solution, which is just a fancy way of saying cloud, voice over IP, that phone resides in our data centers, right? So let's say, Sydney, your phone is extension 101, and you spilled coffee on it because you had one heck of a morning. I can look in the system and realize how your phone was programmed so that I preload it, overnight the phone, and when it shows up, you're just plugging it in. And it's gonna come up and it's gonna look like it was originally. There's no, let's get Amy to come out, let's schedule this time, let's get a truck roll. Lifetime warranty, no hidden fees, no moves as changes, it's just all included. So I think that sets us apart. Now, the other thing you need to consider is the capacity. So with our solution, like I said, we have customers that go up to 10,000 phones, that's pretty big. With our hosted, it's uncapped, meaning if your county continues to grow, the system grows with you, and you'll never have to worry about, am I gonna have enough room? Is this gonna cost me more money? Because in a premise system, just like in the past, which is just a fancy way of saying, hey, it's on-prem, there's a phone system at your office. Once you max it out, you have to forklift it, get rid of it, pay for a whole new install, it's just costing you time and money. With cloud, you don't have to worry about it with us. So if you continue to grow, it's just licensing, add a phone, and it's unlimited. Another thing I wanna point out is our redundancy, because I know you highlighted this in your RFP a handful of times, so I know this is important. So ESI has a data center in Dallas, New Jersey, and Vegas. Now, our data centers, just to paint the picture, imagine a skyscraper, it's honestly massive. Now, there's 7 floors of servers. You're hosted in one of those servers. Now, if a server ever failed or had an issue, you would go from server 7 to 6. If 6 failed, you go to 5, all the way down to 1. If a whole data center went out, which has never happened, all at once now, you are geo-redundant, meaning if you're assigned to Dallas and we had some catastrophic event, you would fail over to Vegas or New Jersey. Now, just to put into perspective, even though we have a couple million endpoints on each data center, if one ever went down, actually if 2 ever went down, and only 1 data center had to keep up the entire United States, our customer base, it can handle that load. So you would have no trouble in, basically you're never going down. It's always there's always a failover. Now to tee up on that, I think I heard mention that y'all are having trouble with your ISP, or there are issues with that. Let me put it 2 ways. So our solution is if you ever lost power and internet, like you're down, the guy's mowing the lawn, whatever happens, you're down, the system is smart enough to auto route your calls to your cell phone, your secondary location, and answering service, something until you're up, which again helps you, the people calling in there, you're never down, you can get the call. Now, if you just lose internet because your ISP's having blips, and we all know that happens, ESI offers I won't get into the details, it's a device that sits in the middle of your network that says, hey, if your internet goes down, this cellular device is on standby, so that if your internet has a blip for an hour, the cellular device is in the middle, allowing your calls and everything to go through. So you never experience the outage, but it's sitting there saying, hey, if they have an internet problem, I'm gonna kick in. And then when the internet comes back on, it's all automatic, you never know what's going on, it's just there to keep you up. Now the other thing I wanna point out is you're always gonna be up to date on features, okay? And I always like this analogy. I bought my wife a car in 2022, and it was awesome, okay? It's still okay, but it had all the cool features, right? It had the touch screen, the seat warmers. I was like, okay, like my wife's gonna be really, excited about this. And it's still a nice car, but in 2025, when I saw the model, it looks better, right? It's even cooler. So the nice thing about going to a cloud solution is you don't experience that. You don't, oh, the features are good today, but in 5 years it's antiquated. With ESI Cloud, you're always on the latest and greatest. So as technology progresses, if you have to take advantage of it throughout your county, it's just gonna be there. So you're never gonna fall behind, which is why we technically say it's the last system you ever have to buy, because it's always current. I do wanna point out, you get unlimited calling, US, Canada, Mexico, so there's no LD, no long distance. And we also include unlimited texting. I don't know if you guys text, but basically every user, permission-based, we could turn on texting and MMS. So if you did want to send out a message to, I don't know, whatever the case may be, it's unlimited. We've seen that in some other counties that we've done. Now the last key feature I want to point out that I really think sets us apart from anyone in the industry today, and I've been doing this is my 8th year, and I still have yet to see it. So ESI trademarked the term IntelliTouch. It's our term, nobody can take it. Now what that means is ESI products were made to work with ESI's solution and software and our dial tone. A lot of providers can't say that. Give you an example. You could have what I call a generic SIP device. I'm not, dogging on the device, but it is what it is, like a Yealing Polycom. That's made by this company. And then you'll have a provider come in, ABC, they're doing the dial tone. And then you'll have a partner involved, that's your third party. You have this hodgepodge of trying to come together to say, hey, we'll manage it all. But at the end of the day, it's still a bunch of products trying to talk. ESI took that out. ESI's phones are ours. The software is ours. Our patented software is ours. We write our own code. It's our data centers, not others. And it's our dial tone. So similar to what you heard earlier, we are truly one throat to choke if you have an issue, and one hand to shake when you want to do business. Because there's no, oh, I'm the guy in the middle that's gonna make sure I get you the answer. It's we are the answer. There's no, oh, I'll go figure it out. It's ESI. So I think that sets us apart from anyone else. And the tight integration is everything. The mobile app, the phone. If you guys end up wanting access readers on your doors where you can badge in, oh, staff's only allowed here. It integrates with the phone system. So if I showed up at the door and tried to get in, you could look at your phone and actually see me on your ESI phone at the door because it streams the video. Just really cool, tight integration that no one else can do because they don't make their own product. They don't have that proprietary software. Now to sum it up, a couple of things I wanted to point out. So Amy and I have a couple of customers that are similar to you guys. So Fayette County, City of LaGrange, these are all using ESI solutions. Syntex Family Services are ones that our common ESI personally have. Now, I do want to name drop one other that I recently did, not with ARCOM, but one of my partners in Amarillo, and it's called Potter County. We just did that one not even a year and a half ago, and that one was about 780 phones. So that was a big project. But I think that'd be a great reference if you reach out. I personally oversaw that project, went out there and did this same thing, and we got them squared away and they're completely satisfied. So just a couple of examples. But I don't want to eat up the whole 15 minutes, so I want to give it back to you for Q&A.
Well, you have about 1 minute left, so.
All right, Q&A, quick, rapid fire,
I
let's
think
do
you've
it.
already answered her question.
How long would it take to do this since you said you have another deal you been working on it 8 months.
Well, the difference.
I mean, it's a lot bigger than this. Yeah, it's 7,000 phones compared to whatever ours is.
The time frame depends on how you want it to roll out. So to give you an example for Potter County, they wanted it, and I think it was 6 phases. Hey Gage, you and your team are gonna come out, you're gonna do the clerk office, then you're gonna do the police station. We can come out and do the whole thing, but we'd rather, let's do this one, get it implemented, test it, get them trained, then move over to the next one. So to your point, a typical install, like if you wanted to say, hey, let's knock out 50 phones this month over there, give us about 4 weeks to get it programmed. The difference is ESI does come out. Remember, we are the manufacturer. We come out with ARCOM, the certified partner, and we do the installation with them. So it's a all hands on deck. So long-winded answer, but it's however quick you want to move, because we can get it done, but we don't want to rush it so that it's done properly, the proper setup, and then the training.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Questions?
No.
Thank you.
That means we answered them all.
That means your time is up according to my watch. Okay, East X telephone. Morning.
This, I'll start, this is Brian Cox, I think I know what each and every one of y'all. I would just like to start by saying that, you know, I'm sure that everyone's product here in today's phone system, I mean, I see you are getting an education of what they'll do, how they'll do it, and basically I think y'all are figuring out they'll do anything that you want them to do. They are complex, but yet they are simple. And one thing that I would say about East X Telephone, and the thing I think that somewhat sets us apart from everyone else, is that we're from a community, and we've put these systems in for our school systems, for San Jacinto County, for different, you know, across our 11-county region, that we provide these types of services, that we want something simple. And to move from something that was simple to something like this, sometimes for the people in our community, it's a little complicated, right? They need some babysitting. And for us, we're here, we're in the community, there's over 100 people, technicians, or people that can respond, that are there every day. If you need us there every day, they're holding your hand. You can call next week, somebody's there in minutes instead of hours. I mean, we're right here every day to answer your questions, to help you. I'm gonna let Brian give a presentation and answer all the questions. And I know price matters, but I think service and support also is a big part of it. And I think that we can exceed that beyond what others can.
Thank you for allowing East X the opportunity to present the additional context for the communication proposals to you. As a community-based provider, we've got 75 years of service and dedication history to East Texas. We understand the unique communication challenges. East Tex is a cooperative with a strong reputation for providing reliable, high-quality communication services and support. I'd like to share how our local presence and proven technical expertise makes us uniquely qualified to serve Pope County's communication needs. East Tex and our board of directors recognize the importance of critical telecommunications and data services for rural economic development. Unlike providers based outside of our region, we live and work in the communities we serve. This means when you need support, you're not getting just a voice on the phone, you're getting your neighbors who understand your needs and can be on site within minutes, not hours. In addition to access to 24/7 technical support with the same local team that provides on-site support. In addition to this, we're able to provide seamless end-to-end connectivity, both in telephony and internet connectivity. So not just the phone system, but we also provide the connectivity to route it back to our data centers, our network, so that, you know, it's not separate. We're kind of the one-stop as far as that we're providing the internet connectivity and the service to the phones and the system. Just a couple of highlights. We were one of the first phone cooperatives established in the nation. Eastex provides service currently in 11 counties, serving 21 exchange areas. We have a commitment to daily availability for on-site customer support, in addition to physical daily presence in the areas we provide service to meet the needs of our customers. Eastex has a proven 75-year service and support history. Not only does Eastex provide the phone systems, we also maintain and manage the carrier voice and data network supporting it. Eastex support goes well beyond supporting just the telephone system. We also provide support for your technical staff to help the county and community continue to grow successfully. Already today, Eastex Telephone provides services to school districts and local city and county governments. In addition to this, we also provide emergency and critical communication services, providing access to 911 and critical radio traffic. Eastex Telephone has multiple offices across East Texas. Eastex Telephone's largest workforce is located in Polk County. We have a physical presence in Livingston to provide rapid response to any needs or requirements for the county. Eastex also has disaster response capabilities to respond to meet the county's needs. This was highlighted in the event that occurred a few years ago with the Onalaska tornado in 2020, where Eastex quickly established voice and data communications needed at the command center, coordinating response and providing on-site during the event. Eastex also maintains and operates a diverse and expanding network and data center set up to provide the county with the redundancy in communications. In addition to this, we effectively manage over 10,000 route miles of communication network. In closing, I'd like to emphasize Eastex's proven experience and ability to support large and small organizations and customers effectively. And our primary focus is on support and rapid response. That's the end of my presentation. So you have anything? Questions?
Okay, I think your question got answered with 11 counties, okay?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, I got it. Go ahead.
No, I don't have it.
You don't have any questions? Okay, I'm gonna ask my same questions because those are the ones I tend to focus on. So how is this gonna integrate with the systems that are currently available or that are utilized at the sheriff's office and the jail? And with the added offices as well, the JP's, the DA's office, county court of law, how is it gonna integrate or how does it integrate?
Yeah, so it would seamlessly integrate with everything that's in place, including the recording and requirements. We also, just like the others, we also have a separate recording platform that's included with it. As far as like if something were to happen, there's a redundancy there. As far as, you know, in addition to us providing the connectivity to where everything goes back to, seamlessly integrating across to where there's no issue communicating between agencies.
So is it gonna simplify the issues that are occurring right now at some of the commissioners' offices?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Will we have to buy extra equipment or do anything else other than what is included in the RFP?
Do anything now? No, it does not.
Okay. What about the training? Training, if we end up with a more complex system, then what about the training availability for staff or for elected officials?
Yeah, so kind of our approach on the training is that so from time of install, so we're on site working with tech staff and everybody. Well, that also extends out to the length of your service with Eastex, that we provide training support included, that if you call and say, hey, I wanna train somebody today, and then say a week down the road or a month down the road, you don't have to schedule an appointment, you just call, somebody's here in minutes to do a training with an individual or a group of people at any time.
One of my questions that I had for the other ones, well, but they all answered it either in their presentation or asking another question, was the unlimited, text message, phones, the equipment, as well as the service that would be provided in terms of the recordings, how long they're kept or not kept, or in terms of the number of phone lines or the number of accounts that would be required.
Yeah, as far as the recordings, basically that's expandable to whatever the county needs as far as storing that. We can do that in two ways. We can either store it within our data centers, or we can expand that to allow that to offload to the county so that they have full control over that data.
Okay, those were my original questions.
It's stated earlier, someone else, if work doesn't work, do the all power and everything, will everything automatically just transfer to cell phone?
Yes, as far as like your lines, say if you lost internet, everything at the location, you can utilize your cell phones, an Apple phone, or it actually forwarding all the calls to the actual cell phone numbers in addition to the app.
No. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Very well. Okay. Unless the court wishes to make a decision right now, then we will come back and revisit this. How do you want to proceed?
Go back and visit.
I would prefer to come back.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay. Well, thank you to all of you that came and made a presentation. We appreciate it, and we will be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Okay, new business, your regular agenda. You are free to leave. You do not have to sit through the rest of this. Thank you very much. Okay, new business, your regular agenda. Item number 2, consider approval of road and bridge equipment lease purchase to the interlocal purchasing system, thereby satisfying the competitive bidding requirements pursuant to East Texas Max Sales LLC quotes. Commissioner Purvis had previously expressed interest in exploring alternatives to the Mack dump trucks. Commissioner Cassidy and the colleagues met with representatives from Rush Trucking and were expecting a proposal from them in June. However, that proposal has not yet been received. To avoid any disruption in service and ensure a smooth lease transition, particularly to prevent a period without available dump trucks, Nicole proactively initiated the leasing process with East Texas Max. So 2A is consider approval of road and bridge equipment lease purchase through the interlocal purchasing system. Pursuant and release the purchase of 8 new 2026 Mack P164R dump trucks with in-drive dump aux box units at $198,812.24, each with a 13-month trade-in allowance of $160,000. Each unit, assuming each trade-in unit meets all trade terms, to be paid from Road and Bridge capital lease funds. Comes as a motion from Commissioner Cassidy.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Dubus. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. B, trade and buyback of 8 2025 Mack GR64F trucks at $157,059, each for units currently leased by each road and bridge precinct, assuming each trade-in meets all the trade terms as well.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion Commissioner Cassidy, second Commissioner Robertson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with Cadence Equipment Finance, a division of Cadence Bank, related to the estimated August 2025 lease purchase of road and bridge equipment, 8 new 2026 Mack granite cab and chassis units equipped with ox body dump bed, to include trade-ins of 8 2025 units, and authorizing this office to execute said agreements on behalf of the county. A copy of the resolution was included for your review.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Cassidy, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, consider approval of personnel reclassifications as follow. A, reclassify 1 district clerk, deputy clerk position to court clerk due to the increase in pace of jury trials in the district courts, and to clear up the continued backlog that was caused by the pandemic. Bobby has had to elevate one of her deputy clerks to serve as a court clerk, so that person is already serving in that capacity. And so she wishes to reclassify them so that her duties match the actual work. So the difference in pay for a full year between the 2 positions is $3,031. At this time, the district clerk has identified some discretionary funds that would cover that, but she also has some vacant positions. Usually, because discretionary funds roll over and they can be utilized in the next budget year, then it would be best if we could utilize the vacant positions. If not, then we will come back and make that discretionary fund whole when the new budget year comes into place. So at this time, we do have a way to pay for it, but we need the court's approval to reclassify.
Make a motion.
Commissioner Robertson, need a second?
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. B, reclassify full-time maintenance laborer to part-time and part-time custodial maintenance worker to full-time. Grady Woods has requested to change the laborer position to part-time as the current workload no longer justifies a full-time role, and to upgrade the part-time custodial position to full-time to meet the increasing demands on the custodial staff. The laborer position is currently vacant, and this adjustment results in net savings to the budget, and the full-time would take effect on July 14th. So obviously, this is retroactive.
Motion to approve.
I'll second approve. Commissioner Duclos, second Commissioner Robertson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and now into our budget workshop. Item number 4, discuss and consider any necessary changes to the formula for the distribution of the road and bridge portion of the tax rate. We requested that there was any changes in the mileage or any changes that needed to be made on the formula, that those changes be submitted. We did not receive any additional changes that would impact the formula. So our current distribution, 22% of the tax rate, 23% of the available tax rate, 27% and 28%, which were the numbers that were created before by the court. So let me go through the distribution of the road and bridge portion of the tax rate. Precinct 1, everybody has a base of 75%, and so every precinct has 18.75% as their base. Precinct 1, all the true miles, that's 20% of what they receive. Precinct 1, true miles are 2.7%. Precinct 2, true miles are 3.7%. Precinct 3, true miles are 6.57%. And precinct 4, true miles are 7.02%. The next portion that is considered with the distribution is the number of wooden bridges, with a total of being 5%. So the number of wooden bridges in precinct 1 is 0. The number of wooden bridges in precinct 2 is 4, so they receive 0.56%. The number of Wooden Bridges in Precinct 3 is 13, which amounts to 1.81%. The number of wooden bridges in Precinct 4 is 19, which amounts to 2.64%, for a total of 5%. So the distribution will be for Precinct 1, 21.45%, Precinct 2, 23%, Precinct 3, 27.13%, Precinct 4, 28.41% of the tax that is allotted to commissioners. Any questions on that? This is basically the same formula that has been used in the past. As the wooden bridges fall off, then obviously that distribution moves to whoever still has the most wooden bridges. So we're slowly but surely reaching our goal of getting rid of wooden bridges through the state bridge replacement program. So the smallest number of bridges is in Precinct 2, Commissioner Dugas. Well, you have 0, so you have no bridges.
Yeah.
Is Commissioner Dugas with 4, and the greatest number of wooden bridges is in Precinct 4 with 19. Any questions, concerns?
No.
I'm trying to answer some of your questions as I go along in terms of how the distribution is done for the taxes. Okay, item number 5 needs to be tabled. That's receive the tax assessor collectors 2025 no new revenue and voter approval of tax rate calculations and verification of the collection rate. At this time, we received some of that information, but we need to verify it and be able to sit down with our auditor's office and go through some of that information. That does bring up a question in terms of, are you all interested in doing another special session? I'm assuming you're gonna be able to help us out here, Stephanie. So
Yes, ma'am.
putting you on the line.
I'm working on it.
Everybody look at your calendars. Milt, when are you going to be gone?
Leave next Thursday.
Okay. So that means you will be available this coming Monday. When are you all when is everybody leaving for North and East?
Monday.
Monday afternoon?
Monday. Starts in the afternoon.
Yes, okay. So if we did a special meeting at 10 o'clock, you would still have time? Because those are all early bird sessions, right? Or committee meetings?
Yeah, I'll make time if we have.
If we have to be.
Yeah, okay, so would you be interested in doing that? Okay.
What y'all wanna do? That's
Well,
not me.
we're still putting pressure on the auditor's office, but she can handle it. She and Tatum, they can handle it. We'll throw Carrie in the mix.
Carrie too.
Okay, so we can table that till Monday.
Motion to.
Motion to table till Monday by Commissioner Purvis, second by Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's talk about budget development. Let me go get my budget book that I scribbled all over.
Let's see, it's supposed to have been on the 22nd.
Okay, you all have had this information for 2 weeks. We have not received any additional information in terms of or concerns or questions or anything about the budget. So there are no major changes in it other than shifting the calendar, that's the main thing. And then, and the only other thing is that if you look on page, I don't
don't know if it's gonna be your page 14 or not, but the communications expense, based on what the court decides to do in terms of VoIP system, if you look at 010-1409-4200, which is my page 14.
They don't have a budget book.
Oh, you don't, oh, sorry. Okay, on your old budget book, when you get in there,
We, yeah, 3 pages, so we couldn't get to 14.
that's because you should have already studied it, and you should know exactly what I'm saying right now.
We got it, just keep
Okay,
going.
so at this time, and this was the reference that was made several times with the presentations, is that at this time, we have basically, 1, 2, 3, we have 6 different providers. So this number that we currently have in the budget for communications, which is almost $200,000, then we need to expect that number to decline, to go down.
We hope.
We hope. That would be the expectation.
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at the capital purchase project. Which is your first page? Okay, it's vehicles. So let's look at the vehicles first. Okay, so these are all the vehicles, and all of this is currently included right now. There are some things that will have to be added in terms of the vehicles. So right now, if you look at your vehicles and you look at your capital purchase projections at the same time, so in vehicles at this time, or in capital projections, we have a flood gauge system that we have been reviewing over the past year, which would be a system that we put on in those areas that historically start flooding first. They would immediately notify emergency management, law enforcement, everybody else. That capital purchase projection is in the amount of $62,500, and we would be, that would be our portion if we are able to get the grants to support that. You also have the maintenance, the adult probation roof, which was moved to an emergency purchase for consideration on July 29th. So that will be coming in for you all to look at. At this time, we do not have any solid numbers because we only have the older RFPs. Acquisition of vehicles. There's the expenditures. We have vehicles in here at this time for aftermarket equipment, which is the first line item, in the amount of $313,550, and that is for the sheriff, for the constables, and for the jail. At this time, we're going to need aftermarket vehicle equipment for the 28-passenger bus the jail has requested, but we do not have any information on what that bus will cost. And then we have the acquisition of computer equipment and software for the jail in the amount of $35,400, and that's for 20 handheld radios. And then we have office equipment and furnishings. We've got the jail for refrigerators and cameras. We have the sheriff for additional cameras, and Constable Precinct 3 for police equipment, radar devices, rifles, optics, shotgun. So the total for the office equipment and furnishings is $117,333.89. Over to the side, to your right, you can see the prior tax note issues that have been, that are not yet retired. So we still have 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 tax notes, because the 2023 tax notes we were able to not issue because we paid for them with surplus depository interest. The 2024 we also did not issue because they were paid with depository interest. And so 2025 we did not issue any tax notes because all purchases were budgeted. So hopefully, we will be able to reach that point this year as well. So this is just the support documentation for the additional vehicles that have been requested. And it includes at this point in time, the constables 1, 2, and 3, and then a floater vehicle, and then a vehicle for permits, and then the sheriff has requested several vehicles as well. And then we also, in this, depending on what the court decides, how the court decides to proceed, at this time, we have also included for you to review the vehicles for all of our JPs, and that's going to be dependent on what is decided for the budget. But for now, for your information, they are included. Okay, any questions on any of that? No?
What's a floater vehicle?
A floater vehicle will be what the treasurer, the auditor, what's that?
The tax assessor,
everyone would have access to.
Yeah, everybody, the auditor, the concern was with the auditor's office, the treasurer, Nicole, and purchasing and procurement, and basically, if they need it, then they will be able to utilize it.
Okay.
And that way we don't have to designate. Also, that floater vehicle would be used during election time, by Shalana's office, and by the tax assessor collector, because she does have to go to Corcoran from time to time, or to Onalaska.
So we're changing up the vehicle that we already have?
No, we're gonna leave it in place.
Okay.
We're just adding another vehicle.
Gotcha.
But that will give you access to more vehicles in terms of election time. And if something happens to the vehicle that is currently assigned to your office, some of those vehicles are getting a little bit older. Yeah. So. What's that?
Jerry Lynn said get a bicycle.
Get her advice. That'd be a little hard carrying all those voting boxes. Okay. Does everybody have a copy of the staffing? Yes, we sent you some information earlier, which was the workload in each elected official's office and all the reports that are sent. We also sent you the staffing levels and budgeting changes that have occurred. So I will just go quickly through those just for the record. The county clerk at this time has 14 people. The county auditor is 6. The county treasurer is 3. County court at law 5. District clerk 14. The JPs, it's a JP1, there are 4 people in that office, JP2, 4, JP3, 3 people, JP4, 4 people. Now that includes the elected official also in these counts. The jail, not quite 54, there's some partials in there. The sheriff's 62, and so the sheriff really has a total of 116 people that fall under his supervision. The constables, each one is just themselves. The tax assessor collector, 14 and a half. And then you have each of y'all's precincts. Precinct 1, 9 and a half. Precinct 2, 10. Precinct 3, not quite 14. And precinct 4, 12.26. And that's because there's changes in who's there and when. So you should have already received this, in the information that we sent you earlier. So, I have prepared 2 options for the court to consider. So you have option 1, and then option 2. I know that part of what we need to discuss, and so option one, I believe, have the adding a vehicle to the JPs. So let me I'll give you some history. The JP's salary in 2022 was $51,695.77, and their travel was $3,500. So then we transitioned, we moved that to where their travel was $5,000. That was basically an arbitrary number. It was based on the commissioners at that time were receiving $20,000. And so it was a number, arbitrary number. Let me put this up so you all can see. Let's put it behind and just, I don't just think of fall on Stephanie's head.
We don't want that.
We definitely do not want that to happen right now. Maybe later, Stephanie.
Yeah, that's very important, that's all it.
Okay, so basically, court travel was $20,000. It got reduced last year to $16,000. We had some requests from commissioners to reinstate that. And then we had some rescinded, so we've kind of gone back and forth with that. So the JP travel has gone from $3,500 to $5,000. And again, that was an arbitrary number, right? Because the commissioners, the court utilizes their vehicles 4 weeks out of every month. And the JPs were using it 1 week. So we went from $3,500 to $5,000. So the comparison was that at one time they were at 25% of the court's travel, and now they're at 31.25%. So what I did to break down all the information for everybody is I went through and I said, assuming, and we know there's more than 50,000 residents in the county. So assuming that there are 50,000 residents in the county, then everybody that responds, okay, that is statutorily responsible for all of the voters, to all of the voters and residents across the county. And this is the breakdown per resident of technically what they're being paid right now. Not what the proposal is, but right now. So right now, I am being paid $1.78 per resident. Judge Brown is being paid $3.46. The commissioners are being paid $1.62. The clerks, the tax assessor, and the treasurer are being paid $1.30. The sheriff is being paid $1.60, but now he has a vehicle. Because in SB 22, the sheriff's travel allowance was rolled into his pay. See, so now he has a county vehicle available to him. The JPs, assuming 1/4 of 50%, which are the voters, people that have voted them in, right? Assuming 1/4 of 50, which would be 12,500 residents, then the JPs are making $5.12 per resident, and the constables are making $3.60 per resident. Because 1/4 of the voters is who they have to answer to. So that's a breakdown of current right now. Now, since we're going back and forth on the travel, and back and forth on availability, then I have two options for the court to consider. Option number one is to reinstate the travel, if the court so chooses, or to reinstate the 4,000 wherever the court chooses, either travel or pay. To provide a $5,000 increase for the district clerk, the county treasurer, the tax assessor collector, and the sheriff. If we take out the vehicle, if we remove the vehicle and provide a vehicle for the JPs, then technically their raise is $8,000. Because now we're giving them a vehicle. If the court does not wish to pull money away from them, which I'm not interested in doing. So, that constitutes an $8,000 raise for Terry Mayer, Sarah Raspberry, Dula Johnson, and Jamie Richardson. Then my proposal is that we take and provide an increase for all of our constables of $1,500. We are also waiting to see if the legislature does anything else. They didn't do anything this round, but they kept telling us they were gonna do something with constables. So the constables at this time, even though they told us, no, they're gonna receive SB 22 money, the fact of the matter is that we did not receive all the additional funds for the constables in the same way that we received for the sheriff's department and the jail. So they're still considered part-time by statute by the state of Texas. So that would take them from $45,000 to $46,500. That's option number one. I did go ahead and put Judge Brown on here because this is not an option. At this time, the state of Texas has a formula that they utilize for county court at law. And they take into consideration experience, time on the job, all that kind of stuff. So the taxpayers are going to pay Judge Brown an additional $43,086.16. So Judge Brown's salary will go from $173,000 to $216.86 . But we have to pay that. So option two would be to provide a $3,000 increase for the court all the way down, which does not quite bring the travel back up. A $5,000 increase for those elected officials that we have historically left behind, which is the clerks, the tax assessor, collector, and the sheriff. And $3,000 across the board to the JPs, and the $1,500 to the constables. So the constables' proposed increase is the same on both, and the clerks, tax assessor, collector, treasurer, and the sheriff, their $5,000 is on both options. Now, if we want to stay the same, part of what we did in the past is we did ask the JPs to maintain a record of, their travel. And I will say that the only JP that did that was Judge Raspberry. And so if we want to do option two, we can do option two. We can get the JPs to do what we had requested in the past, and then we can have a discussion about the travel, because that appears to be an issue. I felt like that providing them with a vehicle would actually be a solution, because the majority of the discussion in the hearing had to do with travel and how far they were having to go, and tires and oil and other expenses associated with it. If we provide them with a vehicle, which is another reason I would like for them to have a vehicle, then the vehicle would have GPS tracking, because that is one of my concerns, that if they are responding to something that is kind of in the boonies, or if they're responding at night and they break down somewhere, well, then we will be able to track them and find out. So, option one is an increase of $83,000, option two would be a vehicle allowance, and then they can provide us with documentation so that the court can decide, you know, what would be appropriate.
Well, my eyes not going off either one of these options. In my eyes, it seems like option one is more feasible.
Option one?
In my,
Well, keep in mind that part of that too is reestablishing, that part of that is 16,000 that was taken out last year and has now been added back.
for what? For what?
Yeah, I mean,
For your travel, or if you don't wanna put it in travel, for your salary. Either way, the 4,000, because the 4,000 regardless of where it's placed, is gonna affect your retirement.
And I also feel like it's more effective to help the JPs as well.
Yeah, I'm all for getting in the car. I want my 4,000 back in my travel. I told y'all that you when you took it away from me.
No, not me.
It's back.
So, that was mine.
So you prefer option one?
Mine's option one.
Can I make a comment about the sheriff? He's not here, but he wanted me to express one thing. Or is this not the time? Not the time? Well, it concerned the pay raise that we're probably giving.
Well, he would be in the 5 category, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His expression is he would like to turn it down to get more for his employees.
Well, we have other things that
I'm
we're
just
looking at,
throwing it
yeah,
out.
and that's fine, he can decline. Yeah.
Is that a motion?
Well, you do have a motion and a second right here.
Okay.
Is that a motion, Commissioner Dugas?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Okay, option number 1, Commissioner Dugas. Who wants to second that?
I'll second.
Commissioner Purvis. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, until we get all the other information back, then part of what we will do is today, this evening, all the elected officials will receive a notification. Sit down, kid. They're not 12, and they're not in my classroom.
Trying to do a.
You can't do negotiations right now. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. I think that was motion to dismiss. Commissioner Purvis? Second, Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will get once we get that information, we will, if we are able to get the information for the tax rate together, then we will try to get it to you. Otherwise, we will see you Monday, 11:34. Thank you, ma'am.